To begin pre-planning sound effects, you need to understand the story of the film and the director's vision, a fundamental step in creating a meaningful audio experience. This ensures that each sound effect complements the director's vision, enriches the narrative, and appeals to the audience's emotion. It is important to note that while these steps provide a structured framework, each production is unique and the approach to sound pre-planning may vary depending on the specific needs and creative goals of the film. Flexibility and collaboration with the director, sound designer, and production team are essential to adapt this process to the specific project's nuances and ensure that the sound effects support the narrative in a way that is both powerful and distinctive. A crucial aspect of pre-planning sound effects is understanding the emotion and feelings you want the film or sequence to convey. It's about identifying the emotional and atmospheric goals of the project and matching them with the planned audio elements. Consider what primary emotions you want the film or sequence to evoke in viewers. Do you want it to be heartwarming, suspenseful, funny, or melancholy? It's important to understand the desired emotional impact because tone can be a powerful tool for evoking certain feelings. Analyze how character arcs and narrative progression contribute to the emotional journey of the film. Sound can reflect character development by using auditory cues that evolve with the characters. For instance, the score's melody may transition from cheerful and uplifting to dark and atmospheric as a character's journey takes a dramatic turn, mirroring the shifting emotional landscape of the story. Determine the feeling you want to achieve for each specific scene or sequence. Different scenes may require different emotional tones or atmospheres, so it's important to tailor your sound choices to the requirements of each scene. If applicable, work closely with the director to understand his or her vision for the emotional and atmospheric aspects of the film. Directors often have very specific ideas about how sound can contribute to the narrative, therefore their input is priceless. Consider how the visual elements of the film affect the desired feeling. Cinematography, lighting, and visual effects all play a role in the audience's emotional response, and sound effects should complement these visual cues. Carefully determine which sound design elements you want to use, such as music, ambient sounds, Foley, and special effects. Each of these elements can be tailored to enhance the intended feel of the film or sequence. Ultimately, pre-planning sound effects with a clear understanding of the emotional impact you want the film or sequence to convey allows you to make intentional and creative choices. Explore sound libraries and resources that offer a wide range of sound effects. There are many online platforms and softwares designed specifically for sound designers and filmmakers. Using sound libraries and resources is a convenient and efficient way to access a wide range of effects. Use online sound libraries to your advantage. Once you're on the platform, you can browse sound effects by category. Many libraries categorize sounds by type, for example nature, materials, or by scenario, horror, comedy. Use the preview feature to listen and evaluate the quality of each sound. When you find sound effects that meet your requirement, add them to your collection. Pay attention to the license terms, as some may require attribution or have certain usage restrictions. Using sound libraries and resources can save you precious time and effort in pre-planning, while ensuring that your movie benefits from a rich and diverse soundscape. Before you make your final selection, run tests and experiment with different sound effects. Play them alongside the scenes or sequences to make sure they have the desired effect and enhance the narrative. Import your selected sound effects into your editing or sound design software and synchronize them with the corresponding scenes or sequences in your movie. This step will help you assess how well the sounds match the visual action. Pay close attention to the timing and synchronization of the sound effects. Do they match the on-screen actions exactly, such as footsteps, matching a character's movement, or the timing of the door closing? Experiment with variations of the same sound effect if necessary. For example, if you are using steps, try different steps, volumes, or surfaces to see which best fits the scene. This experimentation can add depth and authenticity to the sound design. Consider the emotional impact of the sound effects. Do they trigger the desired emotions and reactions in the audience? Experimenting and testing with your chosen sound effects allows you to validate the effectiveness in enhancing the narrative and creating a compelling cinematic experience. This practical approach allows you to fine-tune the auditory elements to perfection. Creating a detailed list of sound effects is a vital step in pre-planning the sound for a film. This comprehensive list serves as a roadmap for acquiring or creating the sounds you need, ensuring that each audio element is precisely in line with the film's narrative. Here's how you can approach it. Break it down scene by scene. Start by breaking the film down into scenes or sequences. I personally like to go through each shot on the shot list. For each scene, carefully consider what opportunities exist for sound effects. Consider what specific audio elements can enhance the narrative, such as footsteps, unconventional sounds, or character actions. Expect variations and nuances in the sound. If there are multiple people walking on different surfaces in the scene, consider these variations. Also, consider how the sound might change over time, for example as footsteps gradually approach or recede. If the film includes special effects such as explosions, transitions, or magical elements, specify the requirements for these effects. Also include information about their size, power, and special characteristics. Consider how each sound contributes to the emotional impact of the scene. Does it create tension, excitement, calm? Be extremely specific and precise. Describe the sounds you need as precisely as possible. For example, instead of only noting footsteps, include the type of surface, for example gravel, wood, the character's footwear, heels, sneakers, and the speed, fast, slow. It's better to describe the sound too much than too less and end up with a poorly fitting sound. Always keep in mind which sounds you need to record on set and which sound might be better to source from a sound platform. For example, there are scenarios where the sound is so special that it only occurs on set when the movement is being performed. This is something you should definitely keep in mind in order to not forget it in a rush. Creating a detailed list of sound effects not only allows you to streamline the process of sourcing or creating these sounds, but also ensures that they become an integral part of the narrative. This level of attention to detail allows you to craft sound in a way that enhances the movie experience and immerses the audience in the world of the film. Creating a careful list of sounds and strategically organizing their order of recording is an essential aspect of efficiency in filmmaking. There are instances when it's more practical to record several sounds on a single set before moving on to the next. However, some sounds must be recorded immediately on set because it is hard to reproduce them in post. These critical sounds include important dialogue or other acoustic elements. Wise playing therefore ensures that these important auditory components are successfully recorded and that the storytelling accuracy of the film is maintained. Creating a sound effects production schedule is an essential step in the pre-planning process because it ensures that the necessary auditory elements are required or created on time and that they fit with the overall production schedule. Work with the director, producer, and other relevant team members to gain a clear understanding of the film's shooting and post-production schedule. This information is important to align the sound effects production schedule with the overall project schedule. Identify key milestones and deadlines in the film production process. These milestones may include post-production stages and the final delivery date of the film. Discuss the time it will take to source or create each sound effect. This includes sourcing sounds from libraries, recording sounds, or creating your own effects. Be realistic in your time estimates so that you don't rush at the last minute. Plan for buffer time to allow for unexpected delays or revisions. Document the sound effects production schedule in a clear and concise format. Use a digital calendar, project management software, or a simple spreadsheet. Communicate frequently with the production team to update them on the progress of the sound effects production. Continuously monitor the progress of the sound effects production and adjust the schedule when unexpected challenges arise. Through the development of a well-structured sound effects production schedule that fits seamlessly into the overall film production timeline, you ensure that the audio elements are ready when they are needed. Careful documentation and organization of your chosen sound effects is a fundamental aspect of effective sound pre- and post-production. Proper documentation ensures that you can easily access, track, and manage your audio assets throughout the filmmaking process. Create a well-organized folder structure for storing your sound effects files. For example, organize the files by categories, for example ambient sounds, Foley, and special effects. This structure makes it easier to search for specific sound effects in post-production. Know the source of each sound effect, whether you obtained the sound from an online library, recorded it yourself, or received it from a sound designer. Noting the source is essential for reference and proper credit. Develop a consistent and logical file naming convention for your sound effect files, and allow for a quick identification of individual sounds. Implement a robust backup system to protect your sound effects. Backup your files regularly to avoid data loss. Also, consider version control to track changes and revisions to sound effects. Use metadata tagging as needed to embed descriptive information and keywords directly into sound files. This metadata makes it easier to search for and find specific sound effects in your library. Document the licensing information for each sound effect. This is particularly important for commercial sound effect libraries, as some sounds are subject to certain restrictions on use or require attribution. Documenting and organizing your sound effects carefully not only streamlines the post-production process, but also provides clarity and efficiency in managing your audio assets. This roadmap should help to effectively pre-plan sound effects and ensure they fit seamlessly into the storytelling of the film.